So if you love a camper, you'll know that a pop-top roof can totally change the space in a vehicle. And that's why when we bought this old fire truck, fitting a pop-top roof was a must.
The only trouble is, these old Pinzgauers are extremely rare. There was less than 1,000 of this model ever made. So it does mean we couldn't just go and buy one off the shelf. So that only left us with one option. We had to make our own. Now, we wouldn't take on a task like this without some experience now, would we?
We've never done one of these roofs before, and it's all our own design.
Okay, maybe not, but at least we know our way around a TIG welder.
I've not really done a lot with aluminium and never built anything with a TIG welder anyway. So we've got no idea what we're doing. But the best thing about building campers is that you're always learning new skills. Because not only can I now TIG weld, the General can too.
Check that out!
What a job that was!
Get in! So we've got the base, the roof, and the bed frame made. And hopefully this week we can get the last bits of the fabrication done so we can get it sent off to the powder coaters and on for the final fix. Welcome back, everybody. Now, as most of you have noticed, the roof is off. And that's because, like we told you a couple of weeks ago, in order to go any further with it, we needed to take it off the top of the vehicle, because this hinge, which we've just installed, needs to be at 90 degrees for us to fix it in. And we just couldn't have possibly done that on the roof of the vehicle. So she's upside down on the lawn. The other thing that we've done this morning is fit some 25 by 50 angle round the sides, and that is to skewer on our D seal, and that's going to give us our seal all the way around the outside of the lid. So what we've got to do now is rivet on these pieces of alley angle, fit the seal, and attach the base plate to the hinge. We can see if it works.
Now you're not going to believe it, but we've had to put sun cream on.
I know, it's glorious.
Did you ever find when you smell sun cream, you always think for holiday?
Oh
don't you?
yeah, it makes me want an ice cream and a donut at the beach.
But we've had about a week of sun, so there's going to be hose pipe bans, weather warnings and all sorts soon. And that's one thing I do miss about Australia, is they know how to deal with the heat. Mm-hmm. They might have annoying accents.
Wow!
But the best thing I think is your workplaces over there, they've got like massive barbecues, and at lunchtime they'll just get loads of meat and have a massive cook up.
Yeah, I do miss it so much. Days like today make it better though.
But one thing that miffs me, why do they always say that Australians say chuck a shrimp on the barbie?
Right, clearing this up once and for all. We do not say shrimp. That was some advertising for Americans, good old Mick Dundee. We say prawns. We do say snag though for sausage, so you could say chuck a snag on the barbie. That would be much more appropriate.
Does anyone remember our Mick Dundee little skit?
Oh my God!
I have to show you that now.
It's a good job I know that there's no crocodiles over in WA, because for me, you know the Crocodile Dundee scene where the bird goes down to the side to splash her face and it jumps out at you? Do you want to reenact that later, Jess?
That's okay. You be the girl.
I'll be the girl?
Wear my swimsuit, you be the girl,
Okay.
and I'll be Nick Dundee.
Okay, sounds good.
Moment of truth. Look at that.
She fits a tree.
Woo! I did not think it was going to be that good.
Woo! Ooh, ooh. Yep, that is me looking smug, because it fits millimetre perfect. But I'm not going to lie, I didn't think it'd fit that good, especially first time anyway. But you've got to imagine it flip round the other way. Because the base isn't that strong at the minute, where it's not fixed to the roof or the sides, it's a bit flimsy, so we're having to work on it upside down. But we've got another couple of jobs to do, because I need to make up a frame that's going to sit inside the top of the roof here, which is what I'm going to fix the canvas to. And then also, when we had the alu cab, to open and close the roof, we had to get outside, unlatch it and lift it up. Whereas with this, I want to try and have it so I can do it all from inside. So if it's raining or anything like that, we don't have to get wet. So that's another thing we're going to have to work out. And then the last job is working out where all these gas struts are going to go. Now, I can't install the gas struts just yet because, like I was saying, this is a bit flimsy and the pressure that's in these is unbelievable. It just bend it. But I need to drill these brackets in, reinforce them before they go to the powder coaters, so when it comes back, I can just fit the gas struts.
I nearly went down then. Okay.
I wish you went down.
Oh, for God's sake.
I must have been searching, though I wasn't looking for much. Checking out the scene, wasn't trying to get my numbers up.
Well, we've got our frame in for attaching the canvas, and we've just made it at a 40 by 40 alley angle. And the reason that we've done that is that we want to put a Celotex board in the roof, a 20mm one for insulation, but then we need the extra 20mm to fix the canvas to. And the reason we've done it like that is that if we ever need to replace the canvas, we don't want to have to rip the roof out. Then at the back, we've fitted in a 50 by 50 box section, and that is braced to the bottom of the lid. And the reason we've done that is because when we're pulling it down, we don't want to just pull from the skin of the roof. We want to use the supports that are at the bottom of the lid. Then on the sides here, John's just fixed some plates in, and they're to stop the worst of the weather getting in the side of the hinge where it's closed. So we just need to tack those on, and we also need to tack in the reinforcing plates that we've made for the gas struts. So we figured out this morning where they need to sit, and what we're going to do is on the top box, we're just going to add a bit of 3mm alley in, so then it will be going through 6mm. And then on the bottom, we've got these brackets that John's made, and they'll sit on top of the base, and then underneath, it will rivet through to these reinforcing plates underneath. So hopefully we won't get any bending. So we just need to get all that tacked on, and then we can get it loaded up.
Now, I'm still no pro, but we're getting there anyway.
Look at that.
Not bad, eh, Joyle? Not bad.
Not bad, Mr. Payne.
That'll do.
Well, that is everything dropped off at the powder coaters.
Yep, everything dropped off and all scratched up.
I may or may not have dropped the roof rack.
Calamity. But I was far too distracted to be annoyed with her because there was a row going on with two blokes, so I was most entertained by that.
John absolutely loves it when we come across a Barney. I like shrink and hide, but it's his favourite thing in the world.
Two blokes on a forklift, proper effing and blinded, thought they was going to get scrapping. Brilliant.
But anyway, we think we've taken everything to the powder coaters, even if I had nightmares last night that we'd forgotten stuff, but went through it about 5 times, so we should be good.
We thought we'd tell you a bit more about the roof. So, weight-wise, we're about 120 kilos in, because we weighed everything separate last night, which might sound a lot, but the alu cab was 130 kilos. Yeah. So the fact that we've got to put the canvas on still and some other bits, hopefully we should come in the same as that. And for our first go, I'm stoked with that anyway.
And I think we could have done it lighter as well. Like we've said, if we did it again, there's lots of things that we would change, isn't there?
I think we might need some more tools for that though. Bit of guillotine action, a bit of metal folder action, I reckon we get it under. So
bloody boy.
If that's never a reason for us to get some more tools, I don't know what it is.
And then in terms of price, so we're about £2,000 in now, which we've still got to powder coat it and buy the canvas. So I think, and put a few bits in like lights and insulation. So I think we'll just tip over the £3,000 mark, which I am absolutely over the moon with.
Well, when you think that the alu cab is £9,000, and don't get me wrong, like they're worth every penny, because they've been tried, tested, and like, again, the amount of tools you have to buy to do all that.
And you just bolt them on. You don't spend 9 weeks making it, but still, absolutely buzzing with that. Yeah. Now for the next job, we need to take a little trip down memory lane and back into the lovely Landy. Because before we set off for Morocco, we bought this Viofo dash cam because we wanted the additional security of it. And John did his usual YouTube and Googling, and this one came out on top. Now, fortunately, we didn't need to use it for any accidents, but what we did use it for is for some footage we never would have got without it. So like when we scared the bejesus out of ourselves in the Goraf Desert.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Or when we came up to some police checks that we were able to show you in Morocco. Yeah, you see that? They've got bikes.
Oh yeah.
Or even the unusual way that Moroccans take on roundabouts.
Hey, look at this.
Hell.
Get that?
And for us now, it's one of those things that we just wouldn't be without. And that's why we're going to fit one to Big Red.
Now, when he installed that in the Defender, a lot of you said, next time, get one with a rear-facing camera as well. Well, this time, I've gone one better, because when Viofo said they'd send us their A229 Plus, it was a no-brainer, because this one's got a front camera, a rear camera, and an internal camera as well. So next time we scare ourselves to death, you'll see our facial expressions as well. So if you don't know how dash cams work, I'll give you a quick and easy explanation because I didn't have a clue. But what happens is as soon as you start your vehicle, it starts recording and it will record little clips over and over again until your memory card's full and then it will just start overwriting them. But if you have a near miss or you have an accident, what it will do is it will save that file and it won't overwrite it. Or if you want to manually do it, you can press the button, or this one is even voice activated. Now with the technical stuff on it, there's loads of features on it, night vision and all sorts. But that's not the thing that impressed me most. You know what impressed me most? This. Whoever designed it thought about us, the installer, because they just make it so simple. They give you a little diagram that shows where the wires go, and then also on the wires they put little labels that says connect to front camera, connect to rear camera, and then with the actual cameras themselves they've just got sticky pads on, they just stick on. So it's so simple to install. And then lastly, I know a lot of people are worried about them getting stolen, so that's how easy it is to remove. But if you're comfortable leaving it in like I am, then they do a hard wiring kit as well, which means it's always got power to it. So if somebody was to hit your vehicle while you're parked up, it would record. And it's also got a setting in it, which means it won't drain your battery.
So if you fancy yourself a Viofo dash cam, they've given us a $40 discount that lasts until the 10th of October. And all you have to do is put in the code TRUEBLUE05 at the checkout. They're also doing a giveaway for one of these dash cams. Competition ends on the 18th of August. You just have to head over to their YouTube channel. So I'll put the details for that and the product links in the description.
So now we're on with the belly lockers. Now to work out what size the lockers are going to be, I've had to jack the back wheel right up to the top of the bump stop, so I know if we ever get to this much articulation, not that I ever think we will, then I know that the wheel won't hit the lockers. But before we talk any more about that, let's talk about the animal that is the Pinzgauer. So as you can see, this wheel's off the deck quite a fair bit, but all the other 5 wheels are still on the floor. And the way these are designed is both these back wheels share a leaf spring. So as more force goes up through this wheel, it transfers through the spring and puts more pressure down through this wheel, which gives you better traction. It's also a true 6-wheel drive because we've got high and low range, we've got cross locks so we can engage the front axle as well as the rears, and then we've got 3 diff locks so we can have all 6 wheels driving at the same time. Not only that is we can engage all of them whilst driving along, so no stopping. But just because it's got all of these things, it doesn't mean you won't get bogged. Just like the boys down at Dulverton Fire Station, where this was stationed, showed us in these pictures. And lastly, and probably my favourite, is the way the chassis are designed on these. So they're like a spine all the way down the middle, which incorporate a front recovery point and rear recovery points too, which means if you're pulling somebody out or you're getting pulled out, then you're going direct off the chassis rather than relying on cross members or any bolt-on bits. So it's no surprise these were designed for the military because they're an absolute weapon.
So before John got all distracted about how cool Big Red is, he was supposed to be telling you about the belly lockers. So we're going to do the same thing both sides, and like we told you before, we've stolen this design from Gregor at SGB All Terrain. So we've made ourselves some little cardboard cutouts so we could make sure they're going to fit. So in here we're going to have one that's shaped like this, and then at the back we've got ones like this. And we're going to do our old favourite of repurposing. So we're going to use the material from these old lockers that used to be on the roof of Big Red and house all the fire equipment. So let's get cracking.
Till
So we got really lucky with these rooftop storage boxes because they're the exact width of what we want to make the belly lockers to. So what we've done is we've cut down both the sides to leave a 20mm lip either side, and that's going to strengthen it all up, and that's going to give me a fixing so I can put my back on and also have the front door hinge and seal too. So what we've got to do now is get this one piece and we're going to fold it to the whole outside of the storage box. But the metal folder I've got is only designed to do one fold in a sheet like that. If I want to start making boxes and do more than one side, I need a box pan folder. But the way I've got round it is I've got a bit of box section that I'm going to put in there like that, so then I can clamp down on the box section and still get a good fold.
Turn it up. It's not loud enough. Turn it up so everyone can hear it. Turn it up so everyone can feel it. Turn it up. Live it up. This time ain't gonna last. Give it up. Past is in the past. It's not enough. Just lay there, feeling sad. So turn it up.
So we've got one almost done. All it needs is the struts at the top to secure it in. Now the way we did it was to pop rivet it together and then John seam welded it so it's fully waterproof. Then round the edges we put in this mini car door seal. Then we've made a door out of flat plate. So we've made the box out of this diamond pattern plate because it's so much stronger. But we wanted the flat plate on the front to get the better seal with the car door seal. Then it's going to be hinged in the corners here so it can just open up and have a compression latch on that side. Inside we're going to have our compressor, which is going to be hardwired in, and there's enough room for the hose to fit in as well, which should reach all 6 wheels. So it should make it nice and easy for us to air up. So now we're on to our middle lockers, and they're going to sit in here just like this. Now we want them to be the same height as the lockers at the back. One, so that it looks nice and it all goes along in a line, but also because we want to maximise our storage space. The problem we've got with that is these big old leaf springs in the way. So what we're going to do is have them full depth at the back, and then they'll step in over the leaf springs. So that could make these ones a little bit trickier to make.
There's something there in the wild. It's a reflection of me. People fight for survival. I'm chasing tails, I'm surrounded. Can't stop for a second to breathe. My thoughts are flowing like water. One day soon I will find. I know I am close. I know I will shine. One day soon I will fly. I know I am free. I'm feeling alive. Take me back to the jungle.
Well, it's the next day, but we have now got all of the lockers made. They might have been free to make, but they were a big old job. So we've got this one held up with the jack just to show you where it's going to go. But I have got the one for the other side where I can show you how we've done it for the cutout for the spring to go in. And we're so glad that we've done it because it really has maximised the space. So for these ones, we're going to use them for all the bits and bobs we don't want to keep in the vehicle, like our water filling hose and our recovery straps and like tap fittings, those kinds of bits and bobs. So we are going to have so much more storage by having these. I'm buzzing we've made them. They do look a little bit rough around the edges at the minute, but by the time we get them all wrapped it up, they're going to match all the tanks along the side, and I think they'll look pretty swish. And this last box was a bit of a beast to make for a couple of reasons. First is the near side is a bit of a different shape to the driver's side, but also because we want it for a specific job, and that is to fit in our diesel heater. So I told you before, we're going for the auto-term diesel heater, and And we actually came up with the idea of putting it outside because Autoterm make a specific box for fitting them to the outside of your vehicle. And it's not something we've done before, but we know if they make the box, it's definitely going to be up to the job. But the reason we haven't used that box is because of the shape of the underneath of the pins being a bit unusual. There's not that many spaces we can use, and we want it to look uniform down the sides. So that's why we've made a box to match the other side. But we did use that box for figuring out where all of the holes need to go. So we've got ourselves a nice big vent up the top here for our circulation, and then this is our air intake hole, which is going to be nice and protected at the back of the vehicle from all the mud that we might be splattering up. Then down here we've got our exhaust pipe hose, which is going to skip straight out underneath the vehicle and come out just like a normal exhaust pipe on a vehicle. So again, great that we haven't got a huge distance to travel that. Then we've got our electrics intake and our fuel intake. Then round the back here, this is the hole where we're going to duct it straight into the vehicle so we can get our hot air inside.
Right, push the bolts through. Do them up then. Yep. So to get this air ducting into the cab, we've had another stroke of luck because this is the pipe that was part of the fire equipment in the back and it fits over there perfectly. So what I'm going to do is install this pipe in here like that, and then I'm going to weld it to the aluminium box, cut it off shorter obviously, and then Sikaflex it on the inside, which means it will all be nice and sealed, and then when we're off-roading, no stones will damage the pipe or anything like that. Get on with it.
What do you reckon? Not bad for a bit of old recycled materials, hey? Admittedly, the latches and the hinges are new, but I can't believe we've made these basically for free. And I was a bit worried about doing them because I loved the shape of the pins at the back before, but I think I actually like it even more now, especially when these are all black. So, and like I've said before, the amount of extra storage it's given us is just absolutely brilliant. But I do have a little trick that I wanted to tell you because, believe it or not, in John's giant stock cupboard of materials, we didn't actually have the right size bolt for these. And I've got a little tip for you. So a lot of you seasoned DIYers will know this one inside and out, but it wasn't something that I learned until quite recently.
Inside and out?
Inside
out.
Inside and out.
No, inside out.
Inside and out.
What?
It's the same thing.
That is not a saying, is it? Inside and out.
It is. It's the same. You're saying the same thing as inside out or inside and out.
Inside out. Inside and out.
Is this one of those things I've made up again?
Aussies are weird.
But anyways, it's something you experienced boys and girls will probably know, but it's not something I learned until quite recently and the hard way. So when you cut a bolt, unless you're really lucky, it messes with the thread and you're unlikely to be able to get your nut back on again. So what you want to do is put your nut on your bolt and thread it on to the point where you want to cut it to. So the first thing you want to do is clamp your nut and your bolt up, because otherwise as soon as you start to cut, your nut will spin. But then you can use your nut to make sure you get a nice square flush cut at the end of your bolt. The next thing you want to do is wind your nut back down towards the head of the bolt. Then you're going to get your sander and bevel the edges. 2 reasons. 1, it's a bit too square at the end now, and also it's really sharp. Apart from helping us cut it square, the reason we've left our nut on is now when I spin it off, it will rethread the end of the bolt for me and clean up any burrs I might have missed when I was sanding. So then, when I go back to put it together again, it will go on nice and easily. Just make sure you paint the end of your bolt, because otherwise it'll go rusty.
Now, talking of rust, I think it's about time we had another joke, because we hadn't had one for a while, and we got a brilliant comment in last week about it.
Oh God, no, I know where this one's going.
So what is the only part on Popeye that doesn't go rusty? The part he puts in olive oil.
I can only apologise, everybody. Anyway, what I actually
Cracker.
asked him to come out here for was to be my assistant, because those keen-eyed people of you may have noticed we don't have a door on the back corner here. And that is because we have finally decided what we're going to do with the water filling point. We had so many great suggestions, but we've decided... Now, you need to imagine it all shiny and this black, but it's going to go on the end there, because we think that looks the most like a place where the water filler point would have originally gone.
Yeah, and we won't need to get into the night heater all the time. Hopefully install it and we'll never have to get to it. So we're just going to rivvy nut it and put some Allen key bolts in. So worst comes to worst, if we need to get in there, we just undo the bolts. So
Happy days.
Yeah.
So anyway, just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this week, and we'll see you guys next Saturday.
I hope you've enjoyed it inside and out.